In the year 2020, a lot of people still don't understand this concept. A lot of people out here walking around very depressed, very down on themselves, very confused about answers and their life. And a lot of people get very into their own head on things that they just need to come to more mature realizations on. When it comes to anything you want to do, when it comes to anything that you're trying to do with your life, don't be expecting support from your family members, from your friends, from people you went to high school with, people you went to college with, people you've worked with, neighbors, church members, summer campers, anyone in your hometown. Don't expect the people in your hometown to support you. They're not going to support you because you got to understand it's a two-way street for one. So you're able to impact people yourself. So what are you supporting them on? That's the first thing. Are you supporting them on anything with their bills, their spirituality, their career, their advancement in the world? If you're not doing anything for their advancement, you can't just expect them to support you on your advancement. It's like the family that raises you from birth to whatever age you are now. They've seen you from a baby. They've, made sure that you didn't die. They don't just owe you support on your business as an adult. Like, you owe it to yourself to like work on it. So a lot of people have a hard time with that realization, but you just really need to see the vision yourself, and you need to put it out there for what your product or service offers. It's kind of like if someone wants to pursue music and they're expecting like a bunch of people to follow their SoundCloud. You got to understand, like, people, they're very programmed. So people already have it in their mind, like, oh, like this celebrity already does music. Like, I was just told by the media that this celebrity does music, therefore that's who I listen to. If you look at any decade, ask any person from any decade, any period of time, who the best artist is or who the best band is, the best musician. They're just gonna say like the top five. They're just like on the radio being promoted at that time in their specific region in the world. Like, they're just gonna go with like who has the promotion, who has the followers, who has the money. That's who they're gonna go with. If you did high school band, or you play an instrument, or you have a band of your own and you practice in your parents' garage, they're just gonna think it's a joke. They're gonna think it's noise. They're not gonna understand it. They see you on like an eye to eye level, and they don't understand certain things, like why would they work at an office and why would you travel the world on a tour with a band. Like, they don't get it. They don't get the trajectory of you surpassing them, so to speak. They don't understand things like that. And also too, like, if someone already has power and influence, like if someone just owns a record label, they can make whoever they want on top. They can just put someone in position. So there's layers to stuff. Like, you can't just like get annoyed that the people are supporting some celebrity and not giving you credit on the music that you do. I understand the frustration on that, because the older people get, some people just never get the point. Shit never clicks with some people. They're just so programmed and so stupid that they just don't understand something. Like, they'll be 30 years old and they'll be with a group of people, and someone from high school or college will have like 50,000 followers on their SoundCloud, and they're building it, and maybe they're doing a couple live shows, or they're doing a tour, or they're playing somewhere. Someone goes, "Whoa, dude, like, I went to high school with that guy. I went to college with that guy. Whoa, what?" Like, they're just like, you're like 30. It's like, dude, didn't you just like turn on the radio and talk about like Kanye West yesterday? Didn't you just like mention like how awesome Beyonce was? Weren't you just talking about Jay-Z? Didn't you just say something about Drake? Like, it's like, dude, you are too old to just be in that mindset of, because the media told me that's the only person who's ever talented. It's such a goofy, childish mindset. So you can't be afraid to break away from these people. Family members, friends, high school classmates, college classmates, co-workers, hometown locals, neighbors, church members, summer campers. I'm throwing in every group in there. You can't be afraid to break away from any of these people, because these people just don't get it. These people aren't on point. These people aren't bright. They're not intelligent. They don't understand you being successful. They never understand the other guy being the winner. They just don't get it, because one, there's personal history there, so they have every right to view things the way they view things. You're not paying their rent, their bills. So yeah, just keep it G. Like, don't like force someone to be a fan. I mean, if I grew up with someone, I'm not gonna say like, here's my music, why aren't you a fan? It's like, dude, like, we've known each other since preschool. Like, no, you don't have to be a fan, but like, understand people who understand their lane. Like, get around people who understand their lane. Get around people that understand your lane, understand what you're trying to do. A lot of people just don't get things because they don't understand their own lane. They don't understand what they're doing out here in the world. It's just like they're just like so programmed and like depressed and just like delusional. They're just like on their phone all day, just like celebrity, 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 stranger, stranger. Wait, what do you mean you have a goal? It's just like if it's someone in their family, their friend, their classmates, their coworkers, and someone in their hometown, they have no clue why the person's working. They have no clue why the person wants to make their own money. They have no clue why the person wants to level up. They have no clue why the person doesn't just want to follow their path. They have no clue that they just aren't the other person. They don't understand this stuff. They're just going to look at the celebrity. They're going to look at the stranger. They're going to look at someone who's doing the thing that you want to do or that you're trying to do, and they just already see the person in position, so they're not going to take you seriously. It's just the truth. You need to understand that. It's going to save you a lot of wasted time in the future. You just need to do whatever it is that you're doing. If it's an art or a craft, just work on the art or the craft. If it's music, put out your music. If it's YouTube, put out your YouTube. Getting in shape, just start working out. Don't even like tell anyone your fitness goals or whatever. Just start doing it. Start saving that money. Even if you have a minimum wage job, you don't make that much and all you can do is put aside $50 a paycheck, do that. Don't tell people what you're saving for. Don't tell people your plans. Don't tell people what you're trying to do because they're not going to see it. They're not going to understand why you would surpass them in some sort of way. They're not going to understand you having a certain result that they don't think they're going to have or that they didn't deem you to have. Because just by you being motivated, having good energy, like, yeah, you want to come out here in the world and get it, you're indirectly calling them stupid in their own mind because they already have their track for you. They already have their what they think is an intellectual evaluation of you. So when other people in the world say, nope, this is how we saw it, they start to look stupid. So they got to say a bunch of stuff to keep you back, like, oh, like, don't let it get to your head, or, oh, that's not a real job. What about your backup plan? Whenever someone says that, like the backup plan stuff, is they don't want your first plan to happen. They don't want you to do the thing that it actually makes you happy, that makes you feel good. Like someone says, if you become a musician, well, that doesn't pay health insurance. Like that doesn't pay into Social Security. So where's your backup plan? They're saying that because if you become a musician and you're doing a live show and you're on stage, you're firing up a crowd. You're getting people motivated. You're becoming like a spiritual presence in the world, and you're becoming impactful in other people's lives, and you're having fun. They start feeling a certain way about their own existence. They don't want to see you do the fun thing. They don't want to see you level up. They don't want to see you go to that next level because it reminds them of their own level. So that's where the comment comes in of what's your backup plan? Does that pay Social Security? Does that pay health insurance? That's just their way of keeping you in the box that they're at. So if they're at an office job, if they're just doing the 9 to 5, if they're just making 40 grand a year, they don't understand why you would be a musician. They don't understand why you would have a business. They don't understand why you would be an entrepreneur. They don't get what you want to do when they're probably just on their phone looking at other people who do it. But so like if you're whatever age you are, like I'm 26, if you're 26 and someone just is on their phone, they're just looking at someone who's 30 and they think the person was born yesterday because that's just all their mind can come up with. They're not bright people. They don't understand that like anyone that you could look at, there's a starting point. And the person has other people in their lives, like the stranger you're looking at or the celebrity or whatever, they have family members, they have friends, they went to schools, they worked with people. But people don't understand it because it's you. They don't understand what position you're trying to go for. They don't understand what you're trying to do with your life. It's going to make them question something about their lives. So you got to just be strong with this. You got to understand the reality of that. Someone's just going to be tuned into whatever programming they're tuned into. If they're from the United States and they're under like a certain programming, say they were born in Texas, a big football state, and like Dallas or something, they might just grow up being a Cowboys fan and just like they watch the NFL every Sunday because they're born in America, in Dallas. So like that's just who they're going to like follow. That's just like their team, you know, it's their hometown team, and they're in a place where they think that's the thing to do on Sunday. You go to Saudi Arabia and it's a little bit different on a Sunday. You go to Pakistan, it's a little bit different on a Sunday. You go to Africa, it's a little bit different on a Sunday. Argentina, Canada, like no matter what it is, that's just an example, but like no matter where you're born, people are going to follow whatever programmed track that they're on, whether it's the government or the media or their own family or their religion or their culture or the friend group around them, the peer pressure. People are going to follow whatever program track that they're on. So you coming up to them with some sort of goal, they don't understand it because they've already evaluated you within 2 seconds of meeting you. It's like if you're homeless and you're trying to come up in the world, do something. You're just trying to get some kind of entry level job just to just put food on the table. But you're homeless, so you smell and you're carrying a cart with you, and you might not have identification on you. So you walk into the store and just like, oh well, like, who's this homeless guy trying to work here? We can't have someone like this here. So like you're already at a position where they've already evaluated your services. They've already evaluated your talent, and that's just the way life is. People don't see you for the thing you're trying to be. They only see it as surface level. They see it as the thing that what they think you are today. They don't understand the progression of time. They're going to look at someone older than you already doing that thing, and they're not going to see that you could do that thing in a couple years. That's just how people's minds are. Most people think that they're very smart, and they're not very smart. They're not very bright. They don't have an open mind to see certain things. They're not very understanding. They don't understand that, like, the 70-year-old man that they're looking at, he wasn't just born as an old man. There's a time progression to that point. But see, they get scared. If you start to do something or you start opening your mind, they think you're going to, like, leave them behind, or you might make a certain amount of money that's going to make them feel like they didn't make that money. It's going to make them look poor. Like you have a certain amount of money and you move to a better neighborhood, and you have better food now, and you're a little more secure with your bills. They think you came from the same place, so why aren't they secure with their bills? They start comparing their own lives based on what they thought you deserved, what they thought you were going to earn, just like what trajectory they thought the two of you were going to live. So they're going to look at your follower count. They're going to look at how much money you make. They're going to look at your genetics, your social status. They're going to take all these things into account in their evaluation of you in terms of where they think you're headed in life. So you really got to take it upon yourself to be the person directing the course of your life. Nobody's going to do it for you. You're going to be the only person that's going to go make stuff happen. And see, this is why a lot of people fall into this mental trap of they lose energy with age, and they get very depressed, and they get down on themselves, and they dwell on stuff from like years ago that's just very petty. And you just got to take it day by day, and you got to understand it's not going to come from these groups of people. Like, your success, your future is not going to come from your family. It's not going to come from your friends. It's not going to come from people you went to high school with, college with, people you've worked with. It's not going to come from anyone in your hometown. It's like the musician thing I was talking about. The city always thinks it's a joke until the musician goes and gets hot in another city. And once the musician starts getting hot in other cities, then the musician goes back to their own city, and that's when their own city supports it. And that's how it always works every time with every person, every circumstance.